did trigger this human explosion of the last 100,000 or so years? Well, on my desk at home sit two objects. This is one of them. It's an Australian hand axe from roughly 500,000 years ago, of the kind made by Homo erectus. And next to it sits an object of exactly the same size and shape, which I use rather more often. And the similarity in their size and shape is truly extraordinary. This isn't a fake photograph. I just noticed it one day, and I was rather struck by it. But of course it's not that interesting. All it tells you is that they're both designed for the human hand. It's the differences that are really quite intriguing. And one of the differences is that the object on the left it could be almost any date. Homo erectus made teardrop-shaped Australian hand axes of great beauty from about 1.5 million to about 500,000 years ago. For 1 million years, 30,000 generations, they went on making these tools. There was no innovation. There was technology without innovation. Their skeletons changed faster than their tools in those days. Whereas, of course, the object on the right is obsolete after 5 years. And that's what we've got, this process of continuous change and innovation. And that's what I think it is that we have to try and understand. Instead of genes causing behavior all the time, quite often we need to think in terms of behavior causing changes in the expression of genes. And I want to take that idea and replay it on a much longer evolutionary timescale over thousands of years. Because, as I've said, people, when they try and explain the human revolution, the takeoff of human beings after 100,000 years ago or so, they tend to talk in terms of genetic mutations. They talk about something having happened. Here's Colin. So back to my computer mouse and hand axe. One of the key differences, it suddenly struck me, between them is that the hand axe is made from one substance and embodies really one idea. The computer mouse is made of lots of different substances, plastic and silicon and metal and so on, and it embodies lots of different ideas that occur to different people at different places. And they came together. And when you think about our technologies, or indeed our rules and habits in society, they always consist of combinations of ideas that occur to different people in different times and different places. It's cumulative in that sense. There's something cumulative about our culture. It's exchange, literally exchanging one thing for another. And by this, because so many of our technologies embody ideas, therefore exchanging one idea for another, that I think is absolutely crucial to the story of the human explosion. The effect of this habit of trade is effectively to collectivize our intelligence, to give us a sort of cloud, arguably. This is fishing tackle from the Pacific before Western contact. And what's remarkable about it is that if you look at the sophistication of fishing tackle on different Pacific islands, you find that you can predict the sophistication not from anything else, but from the contact between islands, the amount of trade going on between islands. In other words, it's the size of the number of brains you can draw on through trade that determines how sophisticated your technology gets. So go back once more to this and ask not just who made the computer mouse, but who knew how to make a computer mouse? And the answer is nobody. There is nobody on this planet who knows how to make a computer mouse. I mean that quite literally. The man who runs the computer mouse company doesn't know how to make a computer mouse, he just knows how to run a company. The person working on the assembly line doesn't know because she doesn't know how to drill an oil well. And the person, you get the point, that the knowledge doesn't exist inside a human brain, however big that brain is. Because, the man who designed it, who came up with the blueprint, he didn't have to think about, where he was going to mine the copper, etc. So the knowledge is dispersed throughout society. It's in the cloud already. We invented a cloud when we started exchanging an iCloud, if you like. There it is. There's the internet, but it's a brain. It is a brain. We are the nodes in its network. That was the trick we stumbled on 100,000 years ago. And what the consequence of it was, It may have left genetic imprints in us, but they were consequences, not causes of what we did. As we went from the individual intelligence that enabled us to make objects like this to the collective intelligence embodied in objects like this. Thank you very much.